Good morning, fantastic Eastwood staff and students. Please demonstrate 5 at this time. Thank you for demonstrating 5. This is Dr. Henry, and of course it's a gorgeous day in the Eastwood neighborhood this week with the sun shining and over 60 degrees. And I am with some fabulous scholars today, and they are 4th graders in Mrs. Baumgartner's class. And of course they're scholars, they're writers. I saw them writing yesterday, and they were mathematicians and scientists all in one. So scholars, welcome. It's good to have them here. Now we have a question for all of them. We know that we'd like to honor Mrs. Brueggemann, our media specialist, and Mrs. Neva, our media paraprofessional, because it's like National Library Week or day. And every day is special in the Eastwood neighborhood. So, Miss Baumgartner, could you call on some students to say what's so special about Mrs. Brueggemann and Mrs. Neva?
Okay, 4th graders, who has something really nice to say about Mrs. Brueggemann? Thomas?
She helps us get together with like the Battle of the Books. She helps us get together in groups, and we can cooperate with other people better.
Very good. Gandhar?
Miss Neva helps us get like good fit books.
Picking out good fit books, which is very important. Awesome. Paige?
And if we can't find books on the shelf or anything, she always helps us find good books.
Mrs. Brueggemann and Mrs. Neva help find good fit books. How about one more? Chase?
Both Mrs. Brueggemann and Mrs. Neva are very creative. They're kind of role models for if you want to be very creative as in special.
So Mrs. Brueggemann and Mrs. Neva are very creative. We talked about how they were creative with the Batman theme and thing 1 and thing 2 for Dr. Seuss Day, and how we really appreciated that. Do we have anything else that we want to share? Dylan?
Mrs. Neva lets us read in the library after school.
Okay, while you wait for the bus. That is very nice of Mrs. Neva. Good. I think we have tons of things, 4th graders and Eastwood staff and students, that we could share about how much we love Mrs. Brueggemann and Mrs. Neva.
So if you are in the media center today, please tell Mrs. Brueggemann or Mrs. Neva how much you appreciate their efforts and how they demonstrate that perseverance in helping us become readers. Thank you, everyone. Now, scholars out in our audience, I wanted to say a few words of thanks. I wanted to say thank you because I'm noticing all of the students at Eastwood, all of the scholars, walking through the hall, having bodies in control. Yesterday at lunch, kids were very controlled and visiting with one another, all the kinds of expectations that are important at Eastwood School. And also at breakfast, we had 211 students eat, and all the students were calm and eating and visiting. I was amazed. Now, one last thing, I know that the cooks and many people want us to take 3 things at breakfast. Remember to take just 3 things, maybe toast, maybe cereal, maybe juice, and that would be 3. And do your very best to eat that. Otherwise, let's see if we could take less the next day. But we do have to take 3 things. So thank you for being kind, caring scholars at Eastwood. Now, please join us and stand for the Eastwood Pledge, which is all about kindness and caring.
I make
a pledge to myself to say only nice words and do nice things for people each day. I pledge to help others succeed. I promise to smile. I promise to be helpful. I promise to soar with the Eastwood Eagles every day. Eastwood Eagles are respectful, responsible, safe, and smart. No matter who you are, you can always become a great deal smarter and kinder. Daily kindness and effort makes a difference. Say to yourself, I choose to succeed. I choose to do the work. I will not fail.
What do we say, everyone?
Greatness is our students.